In 2012, construction crews building a water pipeline into Lake Kariba, on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe, walked off the site and refused to return to the water. Not because of equipment failure. Not because of budget cuts. Because workers said a mermaid had surfaced from the reservoir and warned them to stop digging. The lake sits behind the Kariba Dam, one of the largest man-made reservoirs on Earth, built in the 1950s by flooding the Zambezi River Valley and displacing thousands of Tonga villagers. Those communities warned engineers back then that Nyaminyami, a serpent river god, would never forgive the dam for cutting him off from his wife downstream. Decades later, the 2012 crew said what surfaced from the water matched no known animal. A pale, human-shaped figure with long hair, watching from the surface, then gone before anyone could get a clear photograph. Here is where it gets stranger. The insurance company covering the pipeline project reportedly refused to issue further coverage unless a traditional ceremony was performed first to appease the spirit. A corporate underwriter, the kind of institution that runs on actuarial tables and risk models, effectively wrote a mermaid sighting into its conditions for coverage. That single detail is what pulled international news outlets into the story within days, turning a local labor dispute into a case debated on television across 3 continents. If you want the next hidden case before anyone else does, subscribe now, because a new one goes up daily. Zimbabwean officials never issued a formal denial. No government statement called the sighting a hoax, no press release blamed mass hysteria among the workforce, and no replacement crew was ever sent in without the ceremony taking place first. The silence itself became part of the story. Meanwhile, similar reports started surfacing from fishermen further down the Zambezi, describing the same pale figure near the dam wall at dusk, always watched from a distance, never captured clearly enough to prove or disprove anything. Drop a comment below and tell us if you think a corporation would really pause a multi-million-dollar project over local folklore, or if something else was driving that decision. Industrial records show pipeline work in that exact section of Lake Kariba was delayed for months, with internal documents citing vague safety concerns without ever naming what the concern actually was. No mechanical fault was ever logged. No accident report was ever filed. Just a stalled project, a spooked workforce, and a demand from an insurer that sounds more like folklore than finance. To this day, the pipeline near Kariba runs on a different route than originally planned, engineers quietly diverting around the exact stretch where the sightings happened. Nobody in an official capacity will explain why the reroute was necessary. The dam authority has never commented on the record, the insurance company has stayed silent ever since, and the workers who saw it have largely stopped talking to reporters altogether. Subscribe and tap the bell, because tomorrow we go inside a case even stranger than this one.